Hey everybody, how's it going? So I'm out here in the Blue Mountain Range because the time has come to harvest St. John's wort. Now down lower she's already done blooming, but I am so grateful to live where I live here in the Blue Mountain Range, even though it's pretty bright most of the time. Because I'm able to follow plant allies up in elevation, meaning she's already done blooming below and I missed her blooming down below, but I can just drive like 10-15 miles and be about 3,000 miles higher, and here she is in full bloom, so I didn't miss my season. So St. John's wort, a lot of you probably know her as the plant ally that a lot of people use for depression, and she's definitely good for that. Let me find a place to sit my butt down and show you St. John's wort. And she's definitely good for that. Let me flip around here. But I think that there's some ways that she shines that a lot of people don't realize that, like, she's underrated for. So yeah, she can help you lift moods. A lot of people I see try to use her for anxiety. I don't feel like she's all that great of an ally for anxiety. But I think she's amazing for pain relief. I think if you've got some serious pain going on and you take a dropper full of St. John's wort tincture every couple hours, that by the time you get 3 or 4 dropperfuls in, you're probably not going to have as much pain. I think she's amazing for repressing viral loads. So like if you are dealing with shingles or any of the herpes viruses, cold sores, all that kind of stuff, she can really repress that virus, meaning it doesn't stir up in your body and give you an outbreak as often. She's one of the main allies that I use in my cold sore relief balm, which is a type of herpes when we get a cold sore on our lip. You know, don't be embarrassed by having some form of herpes, because 90% of Americans have at least one of the 10 strains that are going around. But you can also make an infused oil with her fresh blooms here, and you can use that externally. Like I use it to make my my stress sore balm I talked about, and you can use it for a body oil to help the sore muscles. You can even use it as a sunblock. Look at how white I am. I definitely use her fresh plant matter infused into oil as a mild sunblock, and if I get burned, I use her to heal me. And she's pretty good for pain relief too, even externally. So she's great for that. But one way you can tell that you're dealing with St. John's wort, and not the ornamental St. John's wort, we're talking about the wild St. John's wort here. She does not create berries. You're not going to find her, and you're not likely to find her in an average nursery, you know, like a plant nursery, is you're going to pick this little bloom right here. Check this out. Let me get this to where I can see that you can see it, and I'm going to roll it between my fingers. I'm going to mash her good. Look at that. You see that purple color? That's the Hypericum. I always say that word wrong. That's the stuff you want. That is the stuff you want to be catching in your tincture. That is the stuff you want to be, see the purple color, almost red color? That is what will make your oil go bright red if you have nothing but the bloom tops in your oil infusion. And that's why it's important that you only, no matter what, work with fresh St. John's wort. Do not use a tincture of fresh St. John's wort made from dried plant matter. Do not try to make an infused oil with dried plant matter with St. John's wort. For one, it's pointless, because that the Hypericum, there we go, it evaporates off, meaning you're not going to catch that particular constitute. You're not going to catch that red color, and that red color is how you know that you're doing well. Now, I'm a bit conflicted, because some herbalists only use the very top part of the plant. They only use the blooms. They want that neon red color, and they usually use olive oil, which already kind of has a red color to it, so you're used to getting this really bright red tincture. I mean, not just tincture, but oil too. And I definitely would say with the tincture, I'm mainly after the blooms. So, but with oils, with oils, I'm probably harvesting this far down, and I like to put all of the leaves in there as well. I feel personally like she gives a more balanced infused oil. Sure, it's not going to be super bright red like people are used to, but I just find it more effective. I find when I use it for cold sore relief, they are gone that much quicker. And I just really prefer to make my oil with partial leaves too. I also really agree that with a lot of other herbalists that the only way to safely ingest St. John's wort is a tincture made with fresh plant matter. I would never use St. John's wort tea. I would never do any of that stuff. I wouldn't use a tincture that was made with dried plant matter either. Now, there are some people that believe if you, so we know that St. John's wort inactivates medications in our systems. And there are some people that believe if you use it as a fresh made right, like out of fresh tincture, that it doesn't occur. And I used to believe that. I did. I used to be on that bandwagon until I decided, while I was still on benzodiazepine years ago, to use her as a properly made tincture that I made myself, and she threw me into pretty hardcore withdrawal, even though I was still, there's a bug up my dress, even though I was still on the medication, because she makes the medication exit our blood quicker, and so I just don't agree with that. It definitely it saved my life in the regard of I started looking into like what these symptoms are, what's going on here. Oh my god, that's what benzodiazepine withdrawal is. And then I went down the road of getting myself off of that medication, which is hell, and you have to do it very slowly. But I got to that path because I believed that I could use it internally. Ooh, that was a bee on my leg, didn't sting me though. I believed that I could use it internally while on medication, and that, for me anyhow, just was not the case. But she doesn't do that with all medications, and she's definitely a well-studied one. So if you are on a particular medication and you want to use a St. John's wort tincture after you make one for yourself, after you come out here and you find these fresh living plants because you're smart enough to do so, just Google St. John's wort used with and then the name of your medication, and usually you can find if she's safe to take with what you're on. But I think that she's good for lifting low moods, but I think she's better at repressing viruses and helping with pain. So anyhow, I hope you enjoy these shoddily shot videos where I'm squinting in the sun and probably talking too fast sometime. But we just kind of took the moment to run up here because we're kind of in between packaging orders, and I'm like, you know what, we need to go to the mountains. We need to go to the mountains because she's up there blooming right now, and it's all I can think about, and I had to get out here. So I hope you go out and you find St. John's wort too. I hope you're like, you know what, today I could go and find some nature somewhere, and you can get out here. You're smart enough to do this. So if you like my videos, please take time to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. That's 2 ways that you won't miss out on when I post things. And then it helps other people find me too. And speaking of other people finding me and helping with that and helping spread safe, simple plant medicine, make sure you like and comment so I know you're here with me and YouTube decides that my videos are worthy to show to other people. And then come interact with me. I like when people interact with me. Come find me on Instagram. I post there every day. I give away so much free information. I push myself hard to be present with you daily. So come find me over there. Come find my website, and you can find all that stuff by my bio here. So anyhow, St. John's wort is pretty awesome, and she grows pretty much anywhere. She's an invasive. And I'm just going to trail off into more random facts. She is an invasive plant. And so she's one of those plants where when she does grow, she grows pretty prolifically. And here she's a bit problematic for us, not just hurting the cattle, but we have bighorn sheep here. and they can't digest it, but they eat it anyways, and so it can kill them. So Fish and Wildlife is pretty happy when people are out here quote unquote eradicating her. So we harvest a lot, because I mean, I could walk for acres and acres and acres and you'll still see her. So in that regard, if you are going to plant her in your garden, some places you can, some places you can't. Check with your county. Depends on your country too, honestly, because you don't want to be introducing an invasive weed that's not already there. But you probably don't really need to plant her in your garden. You just need to get out here like that little wild bumblebee does and find her. And again, you'll know that it's her based on, she has a pretty unique bloom. I'm making my own shade, so you can't really. Here we go. Let me get close in there. She has a pretty unique bloom. And again, if you're in doubt that you found St. John's wort, just take the bloom and roll her between your fingers and wait for that real purple stain. If you don't get that purple stain, that reddish colored stain, it is not St. John's wort, okay? Alright? Alright? So promise me, you'll roll it between your fingers and make sure that that purple stain there. So, alright, I'm going to get off of here and I'm going to go do what I came to do. I'll see you next time, okay? Bye!